so with my sister, I try to talk to her because, like, you know, she's had just as bad trauma as I have. But I always tell her, like, be better. Don't be bitter. Because if you're being bitter, you're acting like your parents.
Who's at fault for that? For, like, the younger generation not being grateful for what they got?
And, I mean...
But it's like life is about seeking failures and learning from them and getting better.
Ooh,
that's so, like, you have to try to, like, look for failures. Like, you know, and then obviously learn from them and keep going, you know.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Totem Podcast. I'm your host, Monico Carrillo. Like always, we got Eric here with us.
How you guys doing? Yeah, I'm Eric Carrillo. I'm your guys' other co-host. But guys, before we get started, make sure you guys smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified every time we got a new episode up. And if you guys like the guests we're having on today, give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, guys. So today we got a. I'm actually going to introduce the sponsor for the podcast for today. It's Gamo's Design. You guys should check them out for all your apparel embroidery needs. They're doing hats, they're doing beanies, jackets, shirts, whatever you need. You got to look good when you're presenting yourself to the world for your business. So today's guest, he's an important guest.
Yeah.
So we got Edgar Almeda,
Yep.
Too Easy, with us.
Yep.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming out here, taking time out of your day, because you know it's not easy with schedules and stuff like that. Yeah. But appreciate you coming out.
Of course, man. Thank you.
So people that don't know you too much, could you give us a little quick breakdown, who you are, what you do?
So I am the infamous Too Easy. I am a rapper. I'm trying to get up there. I have a whole group of people that you probably have heard of out there already. My record label is Rebirth Records. It's not official just yet, but we are coming up. We got more people starting to join our label, more songs coming out. Can't say I'm too big just yet, but you will hear more from me, though, for sure.
That's good. So I mean, we always like to ask, like, about your childhood, like how you were, your upbringings, how that was. Who were you in high school?
Okay, so
what kind of person? Because that's what defines us.
Yeah, honestly, that's very true. So growing up, I actually grew up in Texas. I moved up here in 2013. My stepdad had to move up here because of his job, and I was living with my mom, so I had to come up here. Growing up, pretty much, man, like, I didn't have an easy life, but it wasn't too hard either. Like, I managed. I learned a lot of things. I am the oldest of four. So I'm kind of that parent figure too. Sometimes I kind of try to help my siblings out, like, hey, been through this, don't do it, you know what I mean? But when it comes to the music, just music itself has been a big part of me all my life. Like, that's literally my escape whenever, you know what I mean? Like, it's literally like I'm in my own little world. I could be at work, I'll be jamming out, I'll be dancing, everyone looks at me weird, I don't care. I'll be at the gym doing the same thing, I don't care. I'll be at my house, like, it's just a big part of me, you know what I mean? And rap is actually something that, like, I never really, I don't really know when I started to write, to be honest with you. Like, I was just writing lines, and they just kept getting bigger and bigger, whole pages full worth. I was like 12 in my English class back in Texas. And I like looked at the sheet and I was like, this is a full like page's worth of a verse, dude. Like, what the hell? And then I started going through my sheets. I'm like, you got more? What the hell? You know, like, I just noticed it. Yeah.
What inspired you kind of start doing that? Because at 12, I mean, we're pretty young at that age. We really don't know what's going on. So I grew up just listening to like just Spanish music, just like cumbias and all that kind of stuff from my parents.
Norteñas.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I started listening to rap, it just caught my attention just because, like, I just caught myself just like bumping to it. And, like, over time, I guess one thing that I did notice is that, like, so, like, one thing that I do in, like, my music is I love to rephrase things and like use like synonyms and stuff like that to like try to get attention. You know what I mean? So like I could be like, I don't have an example right now, but like, so like I could hear someone say something like, oh, I'm too fly, I'm too slick, and then I'm gonna be like, I'm too fly, I'm too high, because, you know, you fly, you're high up there. Or like I would just change it up just a little bit just to make it sound like I said it. And then I'll just write it down because I'm like, it sounds kind of cool, you know, bada bing, bada boom, and then I just keep adding on to it.
Do you have like a notebook where you just kind of keep with you everywhere? How did that go?
So I had different notebooks, actually. I just wrote them just wherever. Like I want to say I still have stuff in my storage from like years ago, but like there's a lot more stuff that I probably threw away that I just never really realized
that you wish you probably kept.
The good stuff,
you could, like, look back on that.
that's like the original me. Yeah, but like I just started. Yeah, like one of my biggest influences. So my very first influence was Eminem, actually. Yeah, and you actually hear that a lot from a lot of people. You know, he's a big influence on a lot of people. He not only influenced me in the music, but as a person. You know, he kind of was like, I don't give a F. You know, so I was like, all right, bet I'll be that way too. And over time, it kind of built up my character.
Well, why do you think it was Eminem? Because it's true for like a lot of like rappers out there starting out. It's like even like famous rappers now, they're like Eminem was the one.
I want to say, at least how he was back then, he was very clever with his wordplay. He had not only that, but he was sending a message or he was storytelling. Like he was very like versatile with his style of rap, very versatile, and he still is.
What was the first song that you heard of him that you're just like, fuck this one, man?
So actually, the first rap song I heard was actually Candy Shop by 50 Cent. Okay. But then after that one was the Eminem one. I think it was Like Toy Soldiers, I think.
Okay.
And then my neighbor actually, who was my best friend back in Texas, he started to show me more like, yeah, this is Eminem. I think you'll like him. And I was like, yeah, he's really cool. Like, you know. And then there's a certain point in time where I wouldn't play a song if it didn't have him on it. Like for real. Like I would try to like study his rap.
Yeah.
Do you think it's like? Do you think it's just kind of like his music and his rap style, or is it also paired with how he grew up, how he came up, how he made himself? Because
I want to say that too, because like he was very like, as much as people don't like to admit it, like he did really what do you call it? Like he did relate on some levels to people, and that's why I feel like people understand him. And I feel the reason why he gets the attention for it, though, is because he's white. I mean, that's a big thing that people bring up a lot because he's white, but I just think he's a good rapper. People try to bring color into it, this and that, and that's, you know what I mean?
You're white, you can't be a rapper.
Yeah.
But,
like he's one of like the true definitions of like started from the bottom, coming up, and then because like even with the movie 8 Mile, I mean that's when I feel like everybody just actually dove into his life and they were like more appreciative of
all eyes on him, pretty much. Yep, that's very true. But he was actually my very first inspiration. After him, right after him, actually, was actually Lil Wayne. He's still really good too. Like I think he's one of the GOATs, to be honest. Like he has bars, he has hits, and he's been in the game for a minute. That's very impressive. And on top of that, like I mean, he kind of set up a whole wave, a whole generation's worth of rappers, you know, like the Littles, whatever, so-and-so. But, like, I feel like he has a big influence in the rap game, and he was one of my big influences. When it comes to being slick and, like, just spitting bars, that's where I get that inspiration from. There's a lot from him.
Yeah, because like, those guys that have been there since, like, the beginning, it's kind of like their shit's more timeless. So it's like, okay, then they're the real ghosts, not the guys just... like what's like popular now, the mumble rap and all that stuff. It's different because they actually got, if you look into it, but like beneath like the beat and all that, they actually got a message that they want to get out there.
Yep. And with Wayne too, like he was just very versatile. And to top that off, like he's been rapping since he was like a teenager. He was like I think 12 when he got signed on, and he's been rapping since. Yeah, he's been rapping since, and he's still rapping. He's still doing features for people. He's still out here doing concerts. It's like, damn, like that's my biggest influence right there. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make this job. I'm trying to travel. I'm trying to meet people. I'm trying to collab. That's really my biggest thing. I just wanted to spread this music out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So did you kind of start like in high school? When did you actually? Because you were writing, but when did you actually start like rapping, putting stuff together?
So okay, the actual recording, like me actually buying the stuff and trying to record everything, I was like 19 or 20.
Even before then, maybe just like rapping to your friends or to
people. You guys just having a good time, having a beer or something, just chilling.
I want to say the first time like I actually put a song together without a beat, just the lyrics. I was like in the 8th grade, and I'd be showing all of my friends. I'll be like, yeah, just hear this out real quick, and they're all like, dude, record it. I'm like, I don't got the stuff to record it with. Little kid, I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
But then that's actually a thing for me. Like I've always wanted to make music. I was always trying to find a way. I was trying to find people that had a studio or just anything, but I just never had that luck. But one thing that my mom told me is, you know, you can't wait for people to do stuff for you. You just got to do it yourself one day. So fast forward, I was like 19, 20. I called in from work. I didn't want to go to work. Went up to Fort Collins. There's a guitar center up there, and I just bought the mic and all the equipment I needed. I didn't have the laptop just yet, but like 2 weeks later, I got it and started recording with it. I just made it happen just like that.
That's one thing that people should really like understand. Like, if you actually want to do something, you don't have to wait till the perfect time till you have like all the money to buy all the stuff. You know, like you kind of got to go with what you got for now, and then make the best of it. And then as you keep growing,
that's
you can buy more and more and
yeah.
more, and then start leveling up your whole setup and all that.
That's very true.
Because all the gear and equipment, that shit ain't cheap.
Not
like,
at
you got
all.
mics, you gotta soundproof your room, you got headphones, laptop, like, dude,
all the cables, and then you got to think
process.
about like your tables, your chairs, you know, with whatever setup you have. That, like, I always take that into consideration. So with like my old apartment, when I had my old studio, it was a very small room, like very small. You could maybe fit like 3 people in there, with me being in there, so just 2 other people just sitting there. Like, it was a very small room. Had a weird closet, but it worked out for the mic and for the speakers. And then when I moved out to this place, I had a bigger place. And I just started taking it more like as a professional setting. Like, you know, I have a whole couch in there now. I have a table in there. I have a little mini fridge too. You know what I mean? Like,
make it more of like an inviting environment where people can not just come record and leave, but just come, hang out,
chill. Yeah, exactly.
Get them creative juices.
That's what I tell all the homies. Like, we don't even have to record, man. We can just chill in here. We can just get in the mood, and you can get creative however you want, or we can just chill in here. Like, there's times where I just go in there. I'm just laying down on the couch.
So what's the way that you personally get creative? Because there's a lot of other people, like rappers, like even like stand-up comedians and stuff. The way they get creative sometimes, like at midnight when I'm by myself, there's no noise, and other people, like, we're just having a beers or whatever, you know, smoking a blunt, whatever it is.
I can honestly tell you. So like, so when it comes to my music, I feel like I'm not trying to necessarily brag, but it's like I am very versatile. I like to just jump on just whatever. On anything. So that's the same thing with like the whole process of like making the song. Like, there's times where I could hear a different song from a different artist that I'm into, and I just start like to just feel it. I find a beat that's like it on YouTube, I buy it or I use it, and then I make my own type of, you know, song out of that. There's times where like I do smoke marijuana. I'm in the studio, I be smoking, I just get influenced that way. There's times where I drink, I get influenced that way. There's times where I'm just sitting there. I just get influenced, you know what I mean? Like, it's always different.
But is it kind of you by yourself, or like you with other people too?
There's time, when it comes to my songs, I usually am by myself, just because like I do like my privacy, just because like I like to, like, I'm a perfectionist. Like, I do want it to sound good. It could be a rough draft, and I'll be like, no, it has to sound good. This isn't a rough draft unless it sounds good. You know what I mean? And then I go back in and do it perfect. But when it comes to the other homie songs, because I have jumped on their songs and they've jumped on mine. When they come over, you know, we have beer, we have alcohol, or sometimes we have weed, and we just get in that little vibe, and we just start to just brainstorm. You know, we just go on YouTube, we find a beat, we all like it, cool, download it, and then whoever has the first verse goes first, and then
so is that how you guys go? You get a beat, and you're just together, like, fuck it, let's see where it goes. First? Is that pretty much how it is?
For the most part, I mean, not necessarily like who like goes first, but like more like it's like.
But you guys are just chilling. I'm saying, like, you guys just chilling, and you kind of literally just jot something down real quick and let's roll.
That's what I do.
Okay. That's what I've heard. I don't know if you know him. He's like a Mexican rapper, Santa Fe.
I think one
of his songs.
Okay.
One of his songs, they were just chilling. They're like starting recording, and they're like, "Oh, this shit sounds fire." So then they just like started recording right away, like on a phone. Ojos Tumbados.
Yeah,
that song. They just started recording. So like you see it, it's like pretty much like. It's like you can tell it's like all set up. They're
just chilling like in the studio with the couch, smoking weed, and they just started going.
Yeah. We have had those moments multiple times. Multiple times. It's just a good vibe. To be around like creative minds, because that's actually what I like to do. Because like with all the homies that I rap with, like I think they're all very different from each other. Like I have a guy that's on some like West Coast vibe stuff from Cali, because he used to live there. I have a homie that's into like the new school stuff. Not necessarily mumble, but like more with like the audio tune. You know what I mean? I have another homie that's very lyrical. I have two homies that rap in Spanish. Okay. I actually just did a song with one, and we actually made it work like really good. Like,
so you rap in English and Spanish?
Spanish, I'm getting there. I can do like, I've done a couple bars, to be honest, in Spanish. But
is it harder, you think, to transition back and forth, or why?
I don't necessarily think it's harder because, like, there was a time where when I was writing back then in Spanish, it's just like I did lose some of my Spanish just coming up here from Texas. You know, like Texas is more close to the border. You know, a lot more. You know, for the culture. And then when I came up here, and then being in the Army too, because I was in the reserves. I don't know. I kind of just started losing it a little bit. But with where I work now, I'm kind of getting it back. So I'm trying to get back on the Spanish. I think it's cool to be that versatile too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So do you do like mostly like just kind of singles and just you put your own stuff, or do you like to do a lot of collabs?
I just like to do whatever, like both. Honestly, like I just like to be in the studio, the vibes. Like I really do just love it. Like
as long as like you're in there, creative juices flowing, recording, getting better at what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. It's always just good to just push forward. Just keep doing something, whether it's a new song or if you're working on the same one. Like there's just times where I just go in there just to listen to like my music, just to be like, and I get very picky on it now. Like there's even with the breathing, I'm like, I hear this, nope, I have to go do it again. I heard something wrong again, nope, I have to go do it again. You know what I mean? Like it's a work in progress, but it's also just moving forward. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So
it's like the beats and stuff you get them mostly like from YouTube, or do you like make custom beats? Have you like experimented with that?
So when I started making music, like the first like dozen songs that I made, they were my beats. I wasn't taking my time with it at the time. Like I was just putting stuff out, and now that I listen to it, I'm like, oh, you could have done better. And that's what I try to do now, is be better. I do want to try it again though. I do want to try to go back to making my own beats and see if I can. I feel like I had some decent ones back then, so I can maybe try them again. Try to rework them or just try a new one. But with the beats I buy now, so like there's this big site that all the producers use. It's called BeatStar, and on YouTube there's like the links to go to the BeatStar store and all that good stuff. But when it comes to the beats, there's like different leases. There's just like the basic one, which is the cheapest one, and then like the unlimited one is like, you know, you could use it for like however many things you want. You can sell up to like whatever you want, and then with the other leases, it's like you can sell up to like 100,000 to 50,000. You know what I mean? But it does get more expensive though with the lease.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because when I listen to it, I'm like, how the hell did this person come up with this?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's one of the great forms of just like ultimate creativity, because you start with nothing and then you kind of just build up from that.
Yeah. And there's just times where like you just start something and it just blooms, like it just pops up. And like a lot of the songs that I've had, a lot of the good songs that I've gotten good feedback from, I personally like was like, but when other people hear it, they're like, dude, we love it. And I'm like, oh, it just popped off like that. All right, cool. You know what I mean? So
do you usually try to find a beat first, or try to make like a song, like the lyrics first?
So it goes, there's two different ways that I've been doing it lately. There are times where I do find the beat first. I find a beat, and, you know, whether it be something hype or, you know, something chill, mellow, whatever the case is, if I like it, period. So if not that, I try to think of a topic first, just a topic. I used to try to write and then, you know, add it to the song, but then I'd have to take words out because it like, didn't
make it match up.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I just try to think of a topic, you know, like there's certain topics now that I feel I can talk about where I'm at in my life right now. But again,
which ones, if you don't mind me asking?
I mean, like more, so like I've been more open about me smoking weed now. I feel like with our culture, of course, you know,
it's frowned upon.
Yeah, oh yeah,
and get that devil's grass out of here.
That's that's what I want to ask you, because like you got I'm tatted. I got tats. Like, but usually you're Mexican. You got some tats. You smoke weed, and
he's a fucking gangster.
He's a fucking gangster.
You fucking rap too? What the fuck?
That's what I was curious about. Because
no.
Like, what's your take on that?
Me personally, okay, so like, and I've actually had this talk with my mom, actually, a little personal talk I had with her. But so with my family, I'm actually one of the first ones born here in the U.S. All of my aunts and uncles, grandparents were born in Mexico, you know, so we're one of the first ones. My mom has like 6 other siblings, and they all have their own kids. I would say my mom's kids, and I have this other uncle, his kids, we are more American. We're more open to this kind of way of life, I guess you could say, because they're not used to what we have up here.
Yeah.
I have other cousins that still have that same mindset, like, oh, I have to stay in the house to take care of my parents, you know, and which which like there's nothing wrong with that. If you know, you have to do what you got to do, but like they're still stuck in that mindset that they don't have the freedom to do what they want to do. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what I do is like, and not necessarily that like I'm like going wild or anything. It's just like I am who I am. You know, like when I've had a lot of people, they used to give me crap about smoking weed, but now they're just like, it's just who you are. I do smoke. I don't promote it as in like you should smoke too. It's more like I do it. It helps me. If it helps you, cool. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. You know what I mean?
So what's kind of like, I mean, I'm just thinking because it's like we're talking like it goes cultures, like Hispanic cultures. Why do you think that is? That's like,
I feel like
the Hispanic culture is kind of like they frown upon stuff and you have to go one way. If not, you're bad. Like,
I feel
why do you
like
think that is?
Not to necessarily talk down on the culture, but I feel like a lot of it has to do with like bitterness. I feel like there's some of them that know that they couldn't have the life that we had because they were fighting for it, and I feel like that might have to do with the younger generation that's up here because a lot of them really ain't as grateful for it as they should be. They're just like, oh, they did all that for what? Oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get
Who's at fault for that? For like the younger generation not being grateful for what they got.
And I mean, I would say the older generation, of course, but then it's like it's also with our surroundings because it's a whole different thing up here with social media, with like the news, with you know Hollywood, this and that. It's very different from what they had. It was just like with my family. I think they were on the ranch for like most of their lives until they came up here. But like that's a whole different setting compared to me being in a small town. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. I think it. I want to answer your question, Eric. I think it goes all down to the parents. Like they're like
honestly, though.
they're like, oh my kid's he's a little brat. He's doing this shit. Like, who's raising the little kid? The little kid doesn't know anything.
Yep.
They don't know any better.
Yep.
So it's like,
Here's the other side to that though. Like, yes, it's like on the parents, but like those parents have no experience on how to like raise a child in this new environment either. And they weren't exposed to the environment, so it's like a lot harder for them to like first get accustomed to the environment and then like kind of deal with how to raise a child in the new environment.
completely agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
But then their parents were in a new environment that they didn't understand either. So if we keep doing that, we just keep pointing the finger at somebody else.
Yeah.
We're not going to get anywhere.
And
I think it's like the people that have to be responsible. Like, it's fucked up. I have kids, so it's like you look, damn, she's acting this way, that way. Why is she acting that way?
True.
Oh, maybe I'm acting that way. That's why she's getting it from me.
Mm-hmm.
People don't want to be like, it's my fault. I'm fucking up. They just want to be like,
they don't
society, man, the school and all this. Like, dude, I mean, that's what I think. I mean, what do you guys think?
That's what I like. Cause I just have a saying, or not a saying, but something like I like to look at and like live by is just break the cycle, break the chains.
No, and
because if you're just stuck in the same cycle, like you're gonna do what your parents did, because they did what their parents did, then you're not gonna fucking get anywhere in life.
It's not gonna be easy.
It's not. Of course, it's not gonna be easy. You're just be running in a circle, and then your kids are gonna suffer from your. If you want your kids to actually have a better life, you have to fucking break that cycle and fucking make a fucking decision to do something about it.
If you want it, you have to make it happen. Period.
Yeah. Like I'm sure with you, like you're the oldest in your family. Like like it happened like with us. Like you're the first one, so you don't know. Maybe I don't know if you did or not. You don't know as much English when you start going to school. So like there has to be one. That's how my brother is. He didn't know any English when he went to school.
Yeah.
And then he comes back, and I know a little bit more English when I start school. Yeah. And he's like almost perfectly fluent when he goes to school.
Yeah.
So it's like, obviously it's harder, but there has to be one that breaks the cycle. Like,
no, and with me actually, I actually did know some English. Actually, my mom came up here at a young age, so she was actually one of the first ones to like graduate. I'm very proud of that of her for that.
That's good. Congrats for her. Yeah, that's great.
Well, with that being said, I don't know. It was more like it's because like one thing I also talked to her about like it's just a different lifestyle compared to what she had it as. You know what I mean? Like she wasn't like like with this generation, it's all about like hookup culture. You know, it's about what's like trending. You know, what's popular. What are the hits? Back in her age, it really wasn't like that. It was more like they were in like survival mode. They had to survive out there and down where they were at. So
that's probably one of the. That's a good. Like once you put, they were in survival mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
I guess
You're in
like,
survival
like,
mode, so you don't really think about it.
like your mom
Yeah.
and like our parents were, I guess they were kind of like the first ones to kind of start breaking that
Yeah,
cycle
no,
because
yeah.
they did come to another country where they knew jack shit about
Yeah,
what,
yeah.
and then they fucking were able to provide for us, and then
And I actually had this talk. I had to talk with another homie of mine. Like it's like, because we actually get deep into this stuff too, and it was like, not like one person isn't just gonna break the cycle. It doesn't just happen overnight in just one lifetime. Like you have to build up to it. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm like with like my siblings, I try to be there for them. You know, with me and my sister, my oldest little sister, we have a different dad compared to our other two. Our other two siblings, they actually are from my stepdad. So with my sister, I try to talk to her because like, you know, she's had just as bad trauma as I have. But I always tell her like, be better, don't be bitter. Because if you're being bitter, you're acting like your parents and the parents before them, and you're just adding on to the drag. You know what I mean? Like try to be different. Yes, it sucks. You will have to sacrifice a lot of things. You will have to put your feelings to the side, but that's just part of breaking the cycle. You know what I mean? Like if you want something, you will have to sacrifice things. You will have to, you know, you will have to put in the work. You know what I mean?
I was just saying that's a part of just growing up and maturing, because I feel like there's those two don't mean the same thing. You can grow up like in age, get older or whatever, but then maturing is something else. It's like I realized that as I got older, started looking at more of my surroundings, what was going on with like other family members and all that stuff. So it's just something that I like, because I like to watch people. Like I'll see them and I'll be like, I don't want to be like that when I grow up or when I get older. What can I be doing today to try to kind of change that and kind of continue to like break the cycle and keep bettering my life as I get older.
How old were you when you kind of like started realizing that like be better instead of being bitter? Because I'm pretty sure like if you're saying that you probably went through it and you might have been, I don't know if you did or not. You were probably bitter for a bit, and then you're just like, fuck this.
And I wasn't a perfect child either. Trust me, I've had my phases through things. I've been through stuff myself. When I was in Texas, whenever I want to say I was like in middle school, going up to high school. My mom she actually made me go to church a lot. She made me go down in Texas. They had like the whole like catechism thing too, so I had to go to that. But the more I started going, I started just paying attention to church, and that actually really did help me. And that's why I have this whole sleeve. It's all religious stuff. You know what I mean? I have the crosses on here and all that, just because that like really did help me. Because where I was growing up around, a lot of gang stuff going down there too. You know, stuff with drugs, stuff like that. You know what I mean? I was on the bad side of town, but like going to church really did help me see a lot of things in life that, you know what I mean, like this pride, you know what I mean?
Because then too, I think when you're a young age and you have too much free time, so it's like if you don't go to church, you're probably just gonna be out. You saying you live in a bad areas or whatever, you're gonna be involved in that, but like maybe your mom seen that, she's like, no, you're going to fucking church, dude. Like, you're not gonna stay here.
And I used to complain about it. I said, like,
oh yeah, we all did.
Yeah,
we all did, dude.
No, like,
that's how, I was just realizing you're like, I had to go to church. It's like, no, I wanted to go and I showed up.
No, I actually went to church like 3 times a week. I went on just the regular masses on the weekends, either on Saturday or Sunday. My mom was part of this group thing on Monday, and then the catechism was on Wednesday, and then I think I went another day during the week. I can't remember, but I was there all the time. But I did make some cool friends, though. You know what I mean? Through church, it's just I just think it was just meant to be for me to go to church, because I could have been in a worse place if I didn't. You know what I mean? Like, because there was I had a lot of peer pressure going up too, doing stuff.
What would you say? Like you're like even now like still like a spiritual person?
I can't. Okay, so like I'm not gonna say that I'm like religious. Like I'm gonna be honest. I actually haven't even gone to church in like a year.
Does that mean you're not religious though?
I do still believe in God and all that good stuff. I just don't get too into it. Like how I see it, I talk to God like he's like my therapist. I just do my prayer. I talk to him literally, and there's times where I'm just straight up with him. It can be some very deep, very dark, and I tell him. But that's how I see it, is as long as you are honest with him, as long as you know who you are, you're good. You know what I mean? Yeah,
it's because me and Eric have this we go deep conversations too when we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And what was your thing, Eric? Remember you were saying there's a difference between like religion and then the church.
And the church.
Yeah.
How I see it, 100%
very different.
Big difference between religion and church. Because you can be religious and you can be close to God, but then the church wants to push their specific ways and stuff. Like, always down with that.
Yeah.
But religion and God and all that stuff, like it's different than the actual fucking church.
And that's actually something that I started to notice too when I stopped going. So like I actually I did try to go one time, and that's when I started to have these tattoos on me. And there were some people that like did like recognize me from like way before, but then when they saw the tattoos, like the ugliest looks I've ever gotten, I'm just like, I thought this was church. Like literally, and I just started questioning it all there. I was like, I can be close to you. I don't got to come here though. I don't feel like I have to come here. But I mean, like, I'm not saying that I shouldn't, and I'm not telling anyone to not go to church. I'm just saying that's just my personal belief. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just close to God just in regular. Like, I do pray a lot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I am honest with him. You know, like, I know weed and church don't really go together, but I tell him like I do smoke because it helps me.
Weed and church probably don't go together, but weed and religion it might, because it might just loosen you up, get you to open up more to God and stuff like that.
And that's actually how I see it too. Yeah, like weed really has brought me a lot of happiness, and I do talk. I mean, when I pray, I always tell him like it does make me feel better, and I feel a lot closer now to you. You know what I mean? But of course, you know, with church, they're going to be like, no, you know,
it might
always
ruffle some feathers.
Yeah,
but that's the problem I have with church. That they want to have everything too perfect. Everybody wants to be too perfect, and that's just not how life is.
No, it's not, man.
Life is all about living your life, but making mistakes, but then going back to God and be like, dude, I fucked up, and then he's
that's
there
what
for
growth
you.
is. Yep.
Yeah,
that's what growth is. Yep.
Yeah, well, I think that's who said this. I forgot who said this one. But it's like life is about seeking failures and learning from them and getting better.
Ooh,
that's so it's like you have to try to like look for failures, like you know, and then obviously learn from them and keep going, you know.
Yeah.
But and then it goes with like kind of what you guys are saying, like just kind of be better.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I can kind of relate what you're saying with the tats and stuff, dude, because I mean I go like.
What was the first reaction you got when you first got your tat and people started looking at it?
Dude, they just look at you. You're a Mexican with tats. Yeah. And then they just kind of, because they'll go like this. They'll be like, look at you, and they're like, look at you like, oh, they're like casually just looking at your stuff. I'm just like, dude, like. But then if I show up with like a button up down here,
no one looks at you.
Just they don't know. And then if they see me take my jacket off, they're like, see me take my jacket off and stuff, and like, because we work with businesses too. So it's like, take your jacket off or whatever. They're just like,
oh, you got tattoos? Well, yeah.
They start holding on to their purse and their shit a little bit better.
It's actually crazy because when I got this first tattoo up here first, and I was expecting my mom to get mad at me, but she was very chill about it. Out of all people,
she was like accepting of it. She was like, all right.
Well, I mean, he already has it on his arm. You can't take it off.
Exactly. No, and then she also told me too, like, at least you paid for it and not me. So I was like, all right, bet. You know what I mean? So like, she understands I'm an adult. So I'm like, all right, Mom. And that's what I feel the old generation should be like, just more accepting. It's like not even about trying to change them. It's just more just accepting of what it is now. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of people that have to really just accept things now. You know what I mean? Like,
a lot of the older generations, like, if I don't like it, then you can't fucking have it.
Yep.
And that's kind of where it gets a little iffy. It's like,
no,
dude, like, just because I want to do something a certain way, like, I don't expect you to fucking support me or whatever, but you're not gonna fucking tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Like not like with your parents and stuff, but like just the generation in general,
society
in general,
because like with your parents, like, fucking our culture is like, you're 18, but you're not really like an adult. You have to.
While you live in my house, you're gonna be under my fucking rules. That's the Mexican thing.
Which honestly, though, I can see why they say that, because just having an apartment. So like, I've had some old roommates, right? And like, I mean, like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I ain't gonna say names, but they were late on their rent a lot. You know, luckily for me, I was a good worker. I was a hard worker. I had extra money, and you know, since they weren't paying their part, I'd be like, all right, this is my house. And they try to get all disrespectful. I'm like, no, this is my house. Get out.
Fuck that.
I'm like, bye. No, but I mean, it's just a hassle. Everything's just a hassle. Ugh.
So where'd you get the name Infamous Too Easy? How did that come about?
All right, so I'm gonna kind of break it down. Originally, when I was in Texas, so I wasn't really making like music. I was just writing stuff. I kind of made up a name for myself. The first name I came up for myself was EA Styles. And then around the time One Direction came out, Harry Styles came out, and I was like,
Fuck no.
I'm not doing that no more.
I don't want to be associated
Yeah.
with
You don't want to join the One Direction?
No. That was bad timing. I was like, really? You had to use the Styles, dog? No, fuck you. So I was like, okay, we might just, I'll hold off on that name for a bit now. But, so pretty much, like a year later, I moved up here. I moved up here in 2013. My best friend, when I met here, when I came up here, we started just hanging out over time. He was into music himself, and he actually got me into freestyling. I could freestyle just out of nowhere. He would just throw on a beat, and over time he would just help me with like the vocabs. And so a lot of people, when I moved up here, didn't know that I was writing music. I was a new kid. I didn't really have that many friends. I knew people, but not like close enough.
It's like that one weird new kid.
Yeah, I was just there like, hey, what's up, y'all? I'm new. Yeah, But so it was after we graduated, when I got back from basic training and all that. He was getting me into it, and he has older sisters and siblings, and they had their boyfriends with them, and then he was trying to freestyle. And then he brought me up, and I was just in the mood that day. I just freestyled a whole verse, and everyone was very surprised.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like damn, that was some heat. I was like, was it? Okay, thank you. You know what I mean? So then later on that night, we had a little kickback. One of Cheeto's sisters wanted to go drive, and then she had a friend with her. And then the friend was like, I actually like you freestyle. And he started just talking about it. And then his sister was like, yeah, like that was really... I don't know how she said it, but like it had to do something with like too easy for you to like freestyle like that. And I heard too easy. I've never heard that like compliment before. Like I've shown some people my writings. It's always like, oh yeah, you're good, you're great, you're amazing. But I've never heard the phrase too easy before. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, it's too easy. I started to work with it. So the way that it's spelled with originally it was just supposed to be just too easy. So it was the actual like number 2, because that's my second name or like rap name that I like came up for myself. The E and the A are actually caps, because those are my initials, and then that was the caps also in the EA Styles. They were both capitalized, and then the Z and the Y are like lowercase, and it honestly just looks funky. It looks different, but that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get attention that way, just because how like I had a weird name. And then the infamous part, so I just started saying that in my songs. Like, I just like the word, it just looks cool to me. So I just said the infamous too easy, and then I tried to rhyme with that. And then when I was putting my music on, I was like, just add it to the name. And then, so there you go, the infamous too easy.
And so have you like always rapped kind of by like the infamous too easy name, or did you kind of start out with like something else before for a while, like putting out music, and then you kind of switched back?
So when I started recording, I just went with
was it the EA Styles?
No, I went with the Too Easy name. The EA Styles, I did mention it like once or twice in a couple songs, but not really. Like I just never really went back to it. I kind of just started going with it. The EA, the Too Easy, I could work with it more. I can rhyme with it better. I could do better things with it. You know what I mean? That's kind of another reason why I started to use the name too. Like I could be like, this is too easy, and that can have like two like whole different meanings. Like this is me, like the actual rapper, or like it's actually too easy for me to just, you know what I mean? Like, So
I mean, I want to ask you. I mean, not to just dog on you, but like on rappers, they always have like the thing that people say, like if you come up with your own name, your nickname, like you have to have somebody else give you the name.
I don't necessarily think that's true. Like I can see why. But then it's like, this is one thing that I tell everyone, and it's funny. This is your world. You do whatever you want. It's my world. If I want to call myself too easy, I'm going to call myself too easy, period. You know what I mean? Exactly. But when it comes to that, though, I can see why. Just like when it comes to like street cred, at least, if you're like into that kind of rap and into like gangster rap, then but... Like, I'm just doing whatever. I like to be versatile. I have, I have like hype songs. I have songs that are kind of like that. I have deep songs, I'm just into the music itself. I'm not really into the other stuff that adds on to it. You know what I mean?
Okay, cool. So I guess the whole thing kind of like around like you rap and do all this, like your music.
Yeah.
So what's like like you were saying at the beginning, we were talking at the beginning, like the money. Like how does like a rapper now make money? Because like now people upload it on YouTube.
Yeah.
You just listen to it for free. So how do they really make money?
I feel so like, and that's kind of something that I'm trying to figure out myself. I feel like it has to do with like side hustles for sure. That's actually one thing that's actually talked about in like rap a lot in like bars is like, you know, like I be hustling, you know, this or that. There are a lot of rappers that have like side businesses, you know, like they actually built up the money to have a side business to help invest in the music side.
Okay.
There was a point in time when I actually had like 3 jobs. I was in the reserves. I was working at Kaiser, and I was a delivery guy for Pizza Hut, and I was making a lot of money. So the money from Pizza Hut I would put to the side for like the music. That's how I got more equipment.
That's going.
You know what I mean? But it sucked though because I just didn't have that much time to make music.
To actually make it.
Yeah. So, but I mean.
Because before people would like, you know, they'll sell CDs and shit. So they like, but like now people don't buy CDs. So that's why I'm curious. Like, how do they? Now it's free online. So it's like, how do they make money?
I know one thing for sure. It's like merchandise. That's for sure.
Oh, the merch.
Yeah.
Okay. There's
merchandise you can make, and you can create
like your brand and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are people that do still buy CDs that I've met. There's people that just like to collect stuff. I know like vinyls are a very big thing. I actually collect vinyls.
Yeah, vinyls, yeah.
Yeah, and there's people that get into that. I've actually met more people that actually want more vinyls than CDs, you know, but it's just, there's people that fucking sell drugs even too, to fucking help promote it too, you know what I mean? Like, it's all on the side hustle. It's all on what you make at your job or however you make your money to invest in it, you know what I mean?
To get it going.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's like, I guess like your end goal with this? Because I know you probably want to take it full time and stuff, but
Yeah.
you're gonna start like doing like concerts and stuff like.
So,
here and
like-
there,
Or like your record labels too. Like,
Yeah.
or is it-
So like that's actually one thing that I tell all the homies because like there's a lot of them. So like I was talking with y'all. I was talking about this earlier. I don't really charge people when it comes to like music right now, just because I haven't really mastered like the actual program I have yet. So I'm just trying to get like more into it. I'm gonna try to study it and try to get more into it to where I can actually get perfect quality out of it, because there are those times where I don't. But for me, I honestly just want to build my label up. I just want to find talent, like not only in Texas but here. I've seen that there's people out here in like small towns that have talent, and they don't get the recognition because like we're in a small town. You know, who cares? You know what I mean? Like I found like there's a lot of people out here that I didn't even think rapped good enough that I've been making music with, and they're amazing. I have them around all the time. So I'm just trying to help. I'm just trying to like, I guess like one of my biggest goals is I'm trying to make the whole like music scene out here. I'm trying to help it. I'm trying to help make a music scene out here in Denver, just like Colorado in general, because like you don't hear enough of like us out there and all the mainstream stuff, and I feel like we have a lot of like potential to do that. Not just us out here, but like people in Greeley and Denver that I've already talked to as well. You know what I mean? Like there's a whole movement that's trying to build up right now. So that's kind of my thing is I just want to like, even if I don't end up like, you know, like making more music later on, I just want to make it like a label. I just want to get people signed on and just put music out there. You know what I mean? Just make hits, just make music, to be honest. That's really just my thing.
So what could people find you if they want to learn more about you, listen to your music, follow you?
So for those, I have a Facebook and Instagram, and in my bio, I have a link. It's called, what's it called? I think it's called Song Whip. And it pretty much gives you the link to all of my stuff, to like Spotify, to iTunes, even my SoundCloud. I need to update it. I'm going to try to put my Facebook and Instagram on there so y'all can just find me better. But it just pretty much shows you all the stuff I have on all the big platforms. My SoundCloud and my YouTube, I have more music from stuff I've dropped before. And I'm going to try to get more music on there. I will be having 2 new songs drop on there. I've dropped these 2 songs a couple months ago. It's called, one was called Kickback and the other one was called Majin Buu. Those will be getting on the mainstream stuff probably by Monday. So y'all go listen out. Hopefully y'all can give me some feedback, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll probably be out by the time this goes out too. So it'll be good for
all right, cool.
for that.
And then we'll link all your stuff down in the description too, so
cool.
people can easily find you.
Sounds good. Y'all really go check me out though. And there's a lot more people coming out with me too. So just keep an ear out.
Yeah, sweet. So, dude, thanks again for taking time out of your busy day to come out here and chat with us.
Really appreciate you guys. Really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you for coming out, giving us a little background of what. Like, we do a lot of the stuff, a lot of the hard work is behind the scenes. So, appreciate you for giving us an insight on that.
Thank you. Big shout out to Rebirth Records, all the homies I rap with, P-Mac, Little Sweet, Tone, Cheeto, Tony, all you guys, Trill. Big shout out. Hopefully, y'all can come through here sometime with these guys and talk. You know what I mean?
Come through, fellas. Come through.
Yeah.
Let's go.
For sure. And guys, like always, the only fee we have here on the podcast is to just share it with one other person. If you guys like the guests we have and the conversations we're having.
Honestly, we can even have one of these podcasts there in my studio if y'all ever want to come through. That's really, we can make it work.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Yeah, we can have the whole crew there. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm down.
Let's go.
So with that, guys, I'll leave you with our motto here on the podcast, that an act of rebellion is to question. Peace out, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated.